If you have a felony and you're trying to get port, refinery, shipyard, or maritime work, the TWIC card can feel like the one thing standing between you and a paycheck. So let's answer it directly. A felony does not automatically mean you can't get a TWIC card, but every felony is not treated the same. What matters is the exact criminal offense, how long ago it happened, when you were released, and whether TSA sees another security concern in your record. A TWIC is the credential used for workers who need access to secure areas of maritime facilities and vessels, and TSA issues it after a security threat assessment. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple way to think about your case. It may be an automatic stop, it may be a timing issue, or it may be something you can challenge. And one of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming an old felony automatically drops off. That is not always true. First, TSA uses two main buckets. The first bucket is permanent disqualifiers. These are offenses TSA says can disqualify you no matter how long ago they happened. Examples include espionage, treason, federal terrorism, and murder. It can also include certain explosives offenses and bomb threats. TSA also includes certain related attempt, conspiracy, and RICO offenses. So if your conviction is on that permanent list, the age of the case usually does not save you. That's why the question, can a felon get a TWIC card, is too broad. The better question is, what was the conviction? TSA is looking at specific categories, not just the word felony, but most applicants are not dealing with espionage or terrorism charges. The category that trips up far more people is the timing-based list. Here's the rule many applicants need to know. 7 years from conviction, 5 years from release. TSA has what it calls interim disqualifying felonies. These can block you if the timing is recent enough. If you were convicted of one of those offenses within 7 years of applying, that can be disqualifying. If you were released from incarceration for one of those offenses within 5 years of applying, that can also be disqualifying. TSA's interim disqualifier list includes weapons offenses, fraud, bribery, and robbery. It also includes drug distribution, arson, and kidnapping. TSA also includes certain related attempt and conspiracy offenses. So let's make this practical. If your conviction was 6 years ago, that may still be inside the 7-year window. If your conviction was 10 years ago, but you got released 4 years ago, you may still be inside the 5-year release window. That second part catches people off guard. They only count from the conviction date, but TSA also looks at release from incarceration. If an interim criminal offense is outside both windows, it may no longer be an automatic blocker under that timing rule. That does not mean approval is guaranteed. It means the timing-based disqualification may not automatically apply, even if your criminal offense is not on the headline list. Approval is still not guaranteed. There are two overlooked issues here. First, active legal status matters. If you are wanted or under indictment for a listed Part A or Part B felony, TSA says you are disqualified until the warrant is released or the indictment is dismissed. Second, TSA can look beyond the named list. TSA says it may find someone ineligible based on other analyses, including extensive criminal convictions, a serious unlisted crime, imprisonment over 365 consecutive days, or transportation security regulatory violations. Passing the named felony checklist is not the same thing as automatic approval. TWIC review is specific to the criminal offense and timeline, and it can still involve a broader security review. If TSA does flag your record, that does not always mean the door is closed. A TSA warning letter does not automatically mean game over. If TSA finds potentially disqualifying information, it can send a preliminary determination of ineligibility letter. That sounds final, but it is not always the final decision. Through that TSA response process, you may request an appeal, a waiver, or both. An appeal is usually about saying TSA got something wrong. For example, maybe the record is inaccurate, the case was dismissed, or the criminal offense TSA identified is not actually your conviction. A waiver is different. A waiver is more like saying, yes, this issue exists, but here is why I should still be approved. TSA says applicants have 60 days from receiving the letter to respond or request more time. Do not ignore that deadline. TSA says it may consider the circumstances of the criminal offense, restitution, mitigation, and evidence of rehabilitation. Proof can show you completed your sentence, stayed out of trouble, or worked steadily. Paid restitution and completed treatment can also help. And timing matters here too. TSA recommends applying at least 60 days before you need a valid TWIC, and says some applicants may take more than 45 days to process. So, can a felon get a TWIC card? Yes, a felony by itself is not an automatic TWIC denial, but the real answer depends on three things. Is the criminal offense on TSA's permanent disqualifier list? Is it an interim disqualifier inside the 7-year conviction or 5-year release window? And does TSA see another security risk issue even outside the named list? If you're serious about port, shipyard, refinery, or maritime work, don't guess. Check the exact criminal offense, check the conviction date, check the release date, and apply early enough to handle delays or a TSA challenge. A record can make the process harder, but harder does not always mean impossible. If this helped, like this video, subscribe to Fresh Start Society, and visit freshstartsocietyhq.com for more information on moving forward after a felony.